What's up, everyone? My name's Chris Marshall with my boy Frank G. We are the hosts of Build Your Empire podcast. Frank G, tell the people what we do.
What's going on, everybody? Chris and I, we discuss established empires while showcasing us building ours.
Feels good to be back. Took a week off. Scheduling people for shows is extremely inconvenient. It's extremely frustrating. You deal with a shit ton of rejection. You have to deal with a lot of flexibility. And just to have an outline of a show and to do a show, there does take work into it. In the past week, I've actually been creating or curating, rather, a soundboard. So I pretty much have a soundboard. I just got to figure out how to connect the soundboard into the Zoom directly. This way, when we can get into this conversation that we're about to get into, it would be helpful because a lot of this started from Facebook, and we know how we can talk about those Facebook comments.
Yeah, you love those Facebook comments, getting into with the people out there.
Because I interact more digitally than personally. I'm just in here in like a 15 by 12 room, just working, just grinding, just doing shit, trying to make something out of nothing. But it's funny because you don't know who you meet digitally. And I think ethical portrait of your ethical self in the digital world, I think is extremely important. That is miscommunicated probably 95% of the individuals out there.
As in, they don't portray themselves correctly? Or they do
Correct.
something?
Yes. So Facebook Watch. See, this is what we need. We need a drop, a Facebook Watch drop. So I went on Facebook and started shit in a business group saying, I wonder how many coaches there are who never had a coach, nor do they seek coaching or mentorship. They're simply in the saturated business, they're in the market due to the financial gain. Now, that makes the person, I wouldn't say an unethical salesman, but there's something sketchy and shady about that person. Do you see what I'm saying?
Wait, so just because they're in a business without someone teaching them?
If you're labeling to be a coach and you've never had a coach, nor do you seek coaches, is it ethical for you to sell coaching?
What about a football player who played football his entire life and now I guess he had a coach?
He had a coach.
Well,
I'm not I know what you're saying. Most people have coaches mentorships, but I don't think so. And now if you're creating classes or courses and claiming you're a coach trying to help people, but you yourself have never been coached, nor do you seek it, I
must have a
don't
hell of a
know.
lot of confidence in yourself.
Unless you have tremendous value, I look at yourself or your portrait of digital self as an inaccurate portrait.
Well, it's definitely, I could see your point, but it's definitely based on who it is, right? I mean, there's definitely special exceptions or exceptional
100%.
people.
Like if you're extremely skilled at bowling and you never had a coach, that doesn't mean you can't coach. But we're talking about the market of coaches coaching people, e-commerce type shit. Just the overall nonsense of the internet.
Unless they, I guess, started their own successful e-commerce somehow themselves. But yeah, no, I mean, most likely you would need someone guiding you.
Yeah, but I would want someone guiding me
who
was guided.
And so, are you asking these people, do you have a coach?
I just made a post, and that shit got tons of activity. Man, did I piss people off! And that seems to be my MO in these Facebook groups.
Yeah, I feel like we're hearing more about this than not.
Yeah, so now I'm just cruising around, and we started the show about we had someone scheduled to come on, hop on the show today, talk, inspirational dude. Prior to that, I actually had a phone call, a scheduled appointment with a pretty much a Hitch, a dude who like is matchmaking or like is a pickup artist, right?
Like a Will Smith Hitch.
A Will Smith Hitch and he's pretty much a pickup artist. So now I'm in these Facebook groups. People are they coach this, they coach this, they coach this. I see this dude who posts, I'm a coach of teaching guys how to get women or hot women, right? Of course,
Specific, yeah.
yeah, specifically hot women. Of course, I'm gonna comment under that and be like, well, who doesn't like hot women, right?
I mean, if that got his attention, then I mean he's doing something decent.
Well, yeah, you look at his profile and it's him and a bunch of hot women. So like now naturally I'm inclined to be like, okay, this is interesting. Now, we have gotten our own hot women. We have partied, gotten hot women. We've
Mhm.
had we have high self-esteem to go approach hot women. So
Preach
like
it.
it's very interesting what he's coaching, right? Because
Well, not everybody is certainly like that.
well, that's my point, right? So when I contacted him or made that comment, he immediately was in my DMs because I'm a potential prospect, right?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying good for him, I guess, for reaching out to the people that.
Well, not good for him because he didn't follow through with his appointment lead, but probably because he knew last night after talking to me for an hour, I'm probably not that guy. And I even told him, I'm like, the
What
only
to get got?
yeah. And I told him, I'm like, the only reason why I'm taking this phone call is pretty much to pitch you to come on the podcast. So one of us is getting sold and it's not me. Now, let's take that out the mix real quick. He started qualifying me. He's like, "Chris, what do you want? Do you want to go to the bar and just pick up women, or do you want like a wife, like a girl to talk to and spend your life with?"
Oh,
I'm
so
like,
he hitches one night stands. That Hitch was against that in the movie.
"Oh, so he's an anti-Hitch, bro. He was straight up teaching incompetent guys, I suppose, or low self-esteem guys to, I guess he teaches them tricks or gives them confidence and eases their anxiety." So I had to fill out his appointment like page. And
Mhm.
it at the bottom it even said, "Are you willing to financially pay to learn these moves? How much are you willing to spend?" And the minimum was 1,000, 2,000,
Wow.
3,000. Bro, I told the guy, I'm like, "Bro, you can literally go to fucking down south and buy all the women you want for that money." I didn't. He's like, "Well, we're against paying for it." I'm like, "You pay for it either
Paying
way.
for it.
You pay for it either way."
Wait. I guess he's against paying for like
He's against
sex.
prostitution simply because that destroys his business model.
Yeah. Instead of paying the girl, you're paying him.
Yeah. Well, I got to
And
pay for the girl too. I got to
his
take her
isn't
out.
even his isn't even a guarantee.
So he sends me two like articles, like or two Facebook posts. One was like Tyler. He was like, "Tyler picked up three girls last night at the bar. He's excited and
Oh my
happy."
god.
And then he shows me like Billy. Billy is celebrating his 2-year relationship with his girl. They're happily,
Are
getting
these real people, like quote unquote?
I don't know, but he tagged me in both posts, and he tagged a bunch of other people. So you could tell this is a pitch. He's pitching me,
Huh.
right? And he's qualifying me, and I know what he's doing. And I told him, I'm not, I'm not the guy to do this. One, I'm extremely self confident and will approach any pretty lady. And two, I'm more interested in how you're doing this business funnel more
Well,
than
you certainly can't get mad at him for still pitching it.
he didn't pitch me. In
Well,
fact, he didn't call
or
me for the
qualify
appointment
you.
for the
You're right. Qualifying
Well,
you.
I even told him because at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't understand what exactly you're going to help me with because we both know that finding a potential wife or lover happens serendipitously, right? You go to a bus stop and it could happen. I don't
Mhm.
know when or how. How are you going to teach me how to find that when that shit's just fake?
Maybe he could set up like a bump into each other kind of situation at the bus stop or like at a
Well,
Nick game.
Well, that's what I asked him. First off, he's like, "I live in New York." All right, cool. We're in New York. And I'm like, "Bro, you should just have a pool of women and a pool of men to matchmake as opposed to you trying to sell me some sort of tips and shit." And
Well,
then I went in and started pitching the podcast. I was like, hey, we had Heather on, CEO of Dating App. You should be like her.
I mean, Hitch is someone, I guess, that teaches you smooth moves, but my boy don't need it.
I don't think I need it, but I was interested on a few levels. One, I actually, I don't know if I like his business model or not. It simply is preying on men who have low self-esteem.
Stand up for all the men out there. I like to hear that.
Yeah, these men don't need someone in their corner saying, yo, man, you got the biggest balls there is. You go talk to that hottie, man. I don't I don't think that needs to be $1,000 for that.
I hear you, man, but I guess I mean, if you got a good group of friends, they got you back. That's your hype man. But not everybody has someone to talk to or go out with.
I don't know. But I mean, I essentially in the past hour got stood up twice. I got stood up by an anti-hitcher, and I got stood up by our guest here, who is a one-handed basketball player who's pretty nasty. So I don't know. I mean, just like the ladies, they stand me up. I'm getting stood up left and right.
Well, I mean, good thing we know about rejection. Good thing we know how to handle it.
Handle it, bro. I'm just my guitar don't reject me.
That's because that's your baby. You strum it like a fine tune.
Thanks, kid. Thanks. But
The Hitch guy though probably was just mad you didn't let him sell you.
but here's the thing. I was letting him sell me,
Well,
but
then maybe it was a scam. Sounds
no. I
very,
don't think
very
it was.
possible.
I don't think it was a scam because one, he's in these business groups, right? So his name's out there. Second, his website and his appointment like funnel, it was pretty legitimate. I mean, he sent me an email confirmation. I think he just knew in the end all my points via like text. Because he was telling me, he's like, I'm like, what's the point of this phone call? We just spent an hour talking. Like, you know everything about me right now and how I feel. He's like, I want to get to know you. I'm like, you just qualified me, so you're pitching me because you already qualified me enough to want the phone call to pitch me.
I mean, it just sounds like a field where they're taking any lead thrown at them.
Well, yeah, well,
I
that's
can't.
anyone, right? That's
I
any
can't. Well,
business.
that's what I'm. Well, yeah, but I just also can't imagine that being a flooded field at 2020, 2021 when there's a pandemic and people aren't like meeting
That
each
was
other.
another thing that I didn't bring up. It was very questionable. He's like talking about going to the bars and approaching women at bars and whatnot. Where? I kept telling him, I'm like, bro, I don't have a problem getting women pre-COVID. You know, during COVID, it's a pain in the ass because I'm not big on the dating apps. The dating apps is a whole nother psychology that I can't fathom. I don't get it.
Can he give you tips on that? Is he dating? Is he a dating app Hitch?
No, the fucking guy's like, I don't like those dating apps either. I don't understand. The one issue I had, you couldn't even help me with.
Well, it just seems like he gives advice in the form of words, and
no, he makes he makes men's balls big by encouraging them. For I don't. If I
I
was
mean, for a hefty price.
very fucking hefty, and I swear, if you have that kind of money, it doesn't make sense that you actually have this problem.
You say money brings confidence.
Money, no, I wouldn't say that, right? Because I believe that if you're born into a billionaire family, that can give you the same amount of problems as being born in the hood, right? But money, it it teaches you life when when you gain it, right? You learn all these skills and interactions and values, and you understand that you could probably just go to a brothel. Like you I don't know. I don't know.
You gotta
I
add
don't
that
know.
one in there. Gotta add that one in there. I mean, not having money also certainly teaches you a lot.
Well, yeah, but if I had a choice, I don't know. This is a tough one to say. This is a brash opinion.
I mean,
if I had a choice to be born into a billionaire family or to be born in the hood, I honestly would probably really think about the selection. And I may lean towards being born in the hood.
Well, I will tell you that I do not take that side.
Yeah, most people probably won't because they don't have the perspective in which I'm about to share. Is that if you're born in front of a billionaire family, your legacy, your empire, it's never going to surpass whatever was created for you. So you're always going to be
You could take
reaping.
over it.
Sure, I mean, or you could just do nothing and fucking lay on an island, I suppose. But I mean, I just don't think you're. I'm striving to be better than my father. It may be tough to know that you can never reach your father.
Yeah, but also being that billionaire gives you the opportunity to reach that.
I mean, not not if you're a billionaire. I don't think there's probably
Well,
1,000 of those.
like Will Smith's son is able to be heard originally because he's Will Smith's son. Now, what you do with that afterwards is
Yes,
on you.
but okay, correct. Jaden Smith is also known for going off the walls from time to time. I would bet that has something to do with potentially being Will Smith's son.
Yeah, I
While
mean,
Will Smith just had to get it out the gutter.
yeah. Well, I mean, now we're going into psychology and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know
Well, this is a
his
psych.
son.
His son is. I mean, his son is wild.
I know he is, but I don't know his. I can't say he's got some mental issues because his father's Will Smith.
I would. I would say most mental issues from from those type of kids are coming from that. You don't think Jay-Z kids or Kanye's kids are gonna have issues growing up dealing with the publicity, dealing with the
Of
fame?
course.
Yeah. So I'd
There's
rather
a,
be I'd rather come from the hood and learn all these street smarts and ways of interaction and being a nobody and build yourself into being a somebody than to already being the son of the biggest person in the world. One of
yeah. Well, I mean, there's give and takes in both sides. You grow up somewhere where you got to eat, instant noodles, or maybe there isn't food, and as opposed to this is whatever you want, but you got to deal with some publicity.
I mean, yes, but I think it goes way more in depth than that. I just think if you're a trust fund baby, that could suck balls.
Yeah, I guess we personally just don't know.
I don't know. I'm right in the middle there. That's why they call me middle class.
Yeah, that is why. We
Typically, middle class don't have this problem because hopefully you always do better the next generation.
Well, yeah. Well, I
Like,
guess so that's what takes the family name out of the middle class. The son or the son or daughter that finally surpasses their parent.
oh man, yeah. Well, I mean, certainly interesting conversations, interesting perspectives, but I don't know. If I owned a business or if I have a sales call that is appointed, I'm gonna call it. And I was pissed when this motherfucker didn't call me at 6:30. I was actually I was gonna pick up the phone. What's going on, Hitch?
You should have. Why didn't you?
Because he didn't call.
Oh, when I thought you meant you call him. He didn't give you his
No,
number.
no, he ain't give me his number.
So if he don't contact you, that's it.
Yeah, and my second part, if he called me, I was just gonna be like, bro, why don't I just if you're in New York, why don't we just hang out, guy? teach me your ways, bro. Let me see you in action. Let me see you suck.
Because his business is to take your money, not to fucking give you a free fucking lesson.
I'll pay him to watch him get declined over and over again. Because I'm sorry, there's nobody has a special act.
Sounds like you just don't like this guy. You try to really like prove that he can't be Hitch, like it's not a real business.
So I actually do like the guy. I told the guy, I'm like, for you to have my attention for this long, when I don't give my attention to like no one, is the reason why I'm going through with the call because I actually am curious to see what you're gonna tell me. but there's nothing you're going to tell me that I feel I don't know. Which I guess is why he didn't call me, I guess.
So you know everything. You could think of everything when it comes to picking up hot women.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I know everything that he's going to tell me psychologically and as a sales pitch. I mean, trust me, if I go approach 100 hot women, I got like a good 6% success rate.
6 ain't too bad. I mean, the 100's a lot to go through, though.
Yeah, that's why it takes a while.
I mean, it is all a numbers game. And when
Yeah,
you're out
but
like that anyway.
that's what I was trying to state too. Like, I'm like, who can't get women when they're in that environment and the girl's fucked up and you just stand there with some cash in your hand and buy her a drink and say, hey,
this guy is probably like, damn, I don't want to talk to this kid. He's not my demographic. He probably wanted to get off the phone.
I mean, he seemed eager to give me a call, but like I straight up told him, I'm like, one of us is getting sold tomorrow and it's not me.
Well, he was like, it's certainly not going to be me either. So he didn't call you.
I wanted him on the show. I wanted him to, he could have came on the show and pitched us.
Pitched us to pay for his hitching skills?
Maybe, if he's that good.
I am not giving anyone $1,000 to tell me
how to approach a hot girl.
That I'm the man and I can get anyone I want.
Bro, I even told him, I'm like, bro, women are like sales, like exactly what you're doing, in the sense of like I don't want to put it like that, but
yeah, careful on National Women's Day.
Well, they probably wouldn't have correlated that until you said it. But if I was to DM 50 women, 10-20% may respond, probably are going to respond. But I'm DMing 50 fucking people to schedule podcast appointments and getting fucking rejected by all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe they haven't cracked your internet persona. You haven't sold them on yourself yet.
I don't know. I tell you what, though, recently I reverted back into just hop in fucking women's DM, see how that goes.
And what's the percentage?
I'm 0-2 in the last day.
0-2. 0-2, though. That's only, you got many more to go to get that 6%.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I mean, I just know my approach ain't good. I know my approach ain't good. There's nothing I can do about it.
I don't know. I want to like ask y'all to hear what it is.
What's my approach?
Yeah.
I DM'd the hottie before. I just gave her like the eyes.
Oh, Madon.
Ain't nothing to say.
Yeah, ain't nothing to say. That's why she didn't answer it. I'm not gonna be Hitch right now.
Well, you could be Hitch as long as you don't charge me $1,000, you prick.
I'm not gonna charge you. I'll just be next to you going out.
Oh man. I mean, I'm sure she's got a friend.
Well, we need a duo, I guess, right?
Or 3, 4, it don't matter. It was just a very funny conversation because, like, I'm just like, who can't get? First off, don't even label women as hotties. I know we just did that all show, but like, when you're fucked up, it don't matter.
Well, that. Well, the word hottie is all subjective anyway, but
correct.
First of all, saying that specific word hottie is specifically targeting a man who in their head can't get quote unquote hotties, because it just sounds silly, like hotties. What? Show me these hotties you're gonna get me with. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know, but his pictures, it was him with a bunch of hotties. And
he shows you a picture of him?
Bro, his profile pictures. I'm pretty sure these girls were paid for with the goddamn money he's charging. Yo, girl, I'll give you $100. Nice yeah, yo, give me a fucking photo. Let me squeeze your butt. Like, yo, I don't understand. However, I do think this was a great business model and he was a great salesman. It just didn't work for me because, I mean, one, I'll approach any goddamn hottie at the bar and say whatever that needs to be said. And two, I'm not looking for the hotties at the bar. I mean, I am if I'm in the moment. and I
Yeah.
currently don't have a hottie at home.
Yeah, and then there's also currently no bars, so I guess we're stuck without the hotties at the bar.
He definitely did not want to call me and deal with that. Yo, and then he said at the end, he goes, "Yo, don't worry. When I talk to you, I'm not even gonna sound like I'm on a script." Bro, you better not sound like you're on the script. I would tear you a new asshole if you sounded like you're on the script.
Well, that means that's just weird. He says that. So is he on a script? How many people have started a Hitch business since that movie with Will Smith?
I don't know, but I do feel like this is a fucking lucrative business. I feel like you can find men who lack self confidence to teach them how to pick up women. There was a show, The Pickup Artist, right? Remember that show was on VH1?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't think I've
Vaguely,
seen it.
sure. There was a show about it, and you can buy books about it.
Yeah,
There is psychological
of course
tricks,
there is.
but nah, nah. I told him, I'm like, I'm fucking awesome. If a girl don't like me, then fuck her. Her loss.
It don't even sound like this guy knows the psychological tricks to getting. I just don't see a professional saying hotties. I can find you hotties. Like I don't.
Straight up hotties at the bar.
I just don't know. I mean, and these psychological tricks, I don't know. It's very interesting. Are they going to be for one night stands, or are they different for long term relationships?
Yeah. No, I think he's trying to go for one night stands, kid.
I mean, it sure is a fast turnaround business. So this dude, I got to pay you another $1,000 to get another one.
He's practically running a prostitution ring with no fucking hoes. This dude's a pimp with no women. That's fucking genius.
Honestly, it would be the best part of this is if he did have like a brothel of like women, and then someone paid for it, and then he sends one of these girls out on a night he's out.
Bro, that's what I tried telling him. I'm like, you might as well just have a pool of women.
Yeah, but then just like still take random guys' money and then send these women out that make
Oh,
$200, $300.
Oh man!
Now that's unethical.
This is like Butters in South Park selling kisses for $5 at the back of the fucking recess.
Yeah.
Hugs for $2, kisses for $5. You get both for $6.
That's a business right there.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking selling sex. It's
one of the oldest businesses in the book.
But like, I wasn't the prospect. However, if he somehow gave me the magical formula to find future wifey, I was interested in listening. But there is no magical formula.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the difference. That's more enticing to, I guess, confident men than a one night stand. They could do that.
Bro, a one night stand is useless. Not to mention, again, just go down south. If you got $4,000, go down south. You're good.
Well, I mean, you don't have to do that, but like, yeah,
you're good. I mean, by just being in local neighborhood.
Certainly be nice to be in nice weather, beautiful women, drink in the hand.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, fucking, if you go to Utah is not exactly nice weather.
Well, it's not going to be, well, it's not like cold weather, but it's not
45.
Not in April.
Yes, probably 45.
Oh, 45. They said 25. It's definitely not the typical vacation. I was talking to one of my friends actually who was going to Utah. He's actually, I mean, he's in a relationship and he's like a little upset that it's not a beach thing. He has to hike all day. He's like, he's got like events planned, not just
First
chilling.
Off, Utah is probably one of the most underrated states to visit in the U.S.
I feel like I'm hearing a lot about it recently too, though.
Well, every time I open my goddamn mouth, I feel like fucking it's all over the goddamn internet. A month ago, I'm reading about NFTs. I'm like, holy shit, this is a game changer. And next thing you know, I can't not read NFTs on the internet. Doesn't make no goddamn sense. If we didn't have our little Hitch episode, I was getting into the future because the future seems crazy. But yeah, Utah's supposed to be sick. And from a beach aspect wise, I mean, I can go to Miami and get a bunch of hotties, but then I get COVID.
You want to go to Utah with a nice little starry night, little lake.
That's what I'm saying. Take a little mushrooms.
Just let the night go. You never know. You could get some girls.
I don't doubt it. I mean, Salt Lake, I bet you they have wonderful skin. I do have a hottie down in Miami, though. A different one.
A different one. You knew I was gonna say. You knew I was gonna say something.
Well, that girl actually lives back in Staten Island. We haven't spoken in 6-7 months. That was my 2020 crush.
She moves closer, and you guys grow apart.
That's exactly what happened, my friend. I should have paid Hitch. Should have paid Hitch.
Hey, you should have just found another woman in Miami.
Well, we did before. And I killed the ATM.
Oh man, Miami certainly can do that to you.
Yo, there's a hottie in Miami though. Where I did think about going to Miami, hopping over to Utah, just to pee.
Is somebody you talk to like a?
I mean, I can't give away names right now just because I'm on air. But yeah, I'm confident. If we were to go down Miami, we would probably have a very similar situation than if we would.
You don't need Hitch.
No, I told Hitch I didn't need him to start with. But I also did tell him I can't get no women in New York.
He specializes in New York.
Nah, he specializes into anyone who needs women.
Sounds like it could be a scam, man.
But I know why I don't get women in Staten Island. I get it. It's easy to get women in the city, I suppose, when the bars are open and there's fucking tons of people. But Staten Island women, I'm convinced I can't get simply because I don't fit the male perception of the typical Staten Island female.
Yeah, well.
But when I leave New York, that swagger comes out and they all love it.
Yeah, that New York swagger. But it's I mean, yeah, you know what?
I know what you're saying.
I didn't even say it.
I know, but like at scale, you're pretty much thinking not all Staten Island women think that. Yeah, I get it. Like I can still get a Staten Island girl, right? But I think majority, the ones who go to DJs, the ones who are in Belmont.
Now you're like chiseling out a specific set of women in Staten Island. Yeah, you go to DJs and you go to the shore like you're looking for juice heads.
Bro, all those are all the people that you went to. What's that bar that was popping that closed down like a year ago?
Oh, Staten Island?
Yeah, I can't think of it. All those girls like the same fucking type of guys.
I mean, yeah, well, that's bar chasing Staten Island for you.
All I know is wherever I go, the last time I went to a resort, I had 7 naked women around me, one on my lap, boobs in my face.
Sounds like a great time.
You were there, kid.
Oh, yeah, the life of Chris and Frank G.
Let's end the show.
You guys have a lovely evening. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.